The Denny's PBA Tour season is in full swing.
Yeah, let's go!
The best bowlers in the world are battling it out to see who truly is the king of the lanes. So far, it's been the veterans' turn to shine. Skilled statesmen of bowling, treating the PBA young guns to a few tricks still left in the bag. Who will be the next to be called champion on the Denny's PBA Tour? The Motor City Classic starts now. From Taylor Lanes in Taylor, Michigan, near Detroit, ESPN brings you live coverage of the Denny's PBA Tour. Today, 5 bowlers in a stepladder format gun for the top prize money. And with a win, earn a 1-season exemption. It's the first standard event of our new season. Hello, bowling fans. Welcome to suburban Detroit. Glad you join us today. Dave Ryan alongside bowling legends Norm Duke and Randy Peterson. Norm, let's start with you. Great conditions today for a potential 300 game. It's a good lane condition. You're one of 16 bowlers who has bowled a 300 on TV. You might just have it again today.
Yeah, we might, because as always on the cheetah pattern, we have high scores. And the 3 right-handers on today's telecast, 3 of the tour's largest. They were able to create a tremendous amount of power into those pins, slashing out those corners. And Randy, I believe that was a huge advantage.
Well, I agree with you, Norm, but let's not discount our 2 southpaws, Mike Scroggins and Parker Bohn III. Parker Bohn III is a Hall of Famer. He's won 30 times, and oh, by the way, his last win came on this very same cheetah pattern.
Our number 1 seed is being Wes Malott from near Dallas, Texas, gunning for his 2nd career title here today in Detroit.
Wes Malott's nickname is the Beast, and for good reason, Norm. I don't think I've ever seen anyone create as much area on the lane as this guy.
Me either. I get to watch this every week. And as you see here in Denver, where he bowled 299, by the way, Randy, those pins had no chance.
That was his first career title a year ago. Lane conditions, as Norm talked about, it's the cheetah high-scoring oil pattern.
35 feet in length, Dave Ryan, and what happens on the cheetah pattern is simple. There's friction on the outside part of the lane. The players will use that to get their ball to hook into the pocket.
We had 6 300 games this week, guys. And our first match, stepladder format, here's Mike Scroggins from Amarillo. One of the 2 lefties gets us going in style with a big strike.
You got a great start for Mike Scroggins. It's always nice to start off with a strike, kind of relax, loosen up.
Mike Edwards from Tulsa. Perfectly placed in the 1-3 pocket as each bowler tries to advance up the stepladder on the way to the top seed, Wes Malott. Ace hardware matchup, our first match. Randy, Scroggins, Edwards, break it down for us.
Well, Norm, you know these guys have been on tour for a long time, and Mike Edwards at 44 years of age looking to win his 2nd time. Mike Scroggins, a major championship winner, winning last year's USBC Masters.
Gets help on the 10K, Mike Edwards. 1 career title for the 44-year-old Oklahoman who is a huge Sooners fan.
And as you can see here, the friction on the outside part of the lane rolls his ball up into the flush zone, Randy.
And normally when there's a lot of friction on the lane, the players tend to throw it faster, and that fits right into these 2 guys' wheelhouse. Mike Edwards likes to throw it hard, and so does Mike Scroggins.
Effective ball change for Mike Edwards. Here's Scroggins. Little late help on number 5. Down she goes. This is the first ever head-to-head matchup on TV between Edwards and Scroggins. And Mike Scroggins, Norm, as you know, coming off a career season. Number 3 last year in tour points behind Norm Duke, was right there. Career year with earnings as well for Mike. And You see his match play record to get here. A different format than we've had in the first 2 weeks on tour, Japan Cup and the Masters last week.
Norm, you being a very versatile player, what are some of the keys to increasing ball speed effectively?
Well, you either have to get that ball speed from your swing or from the pace of your walk. A lot of the players will lift that swing up, get a longer swing, faster ball speed as a result. Guys like me, we have to run faster. The faster we run, the faster we're carrying the ball, and more ball speed as a result.
Mike Edwards throwing it hard. Steam on that one. And all 10 down into the pit for Mike Edwards, who is trying to break a very long streak without a win. All the way back. As he tries to get himself back to a winning event. 246 events, the longest active streak without a victory for Mike Edwards. All 10 down again.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Strike Fest.
What do we talk about top of the broadcast? Everyone perfect so far with this oil pattern. And the Oklahoma fans love what they're seeing from Mike Edwards. First non-strike of our first match here at Stepladder format. And a 6-pin for Mike Scroggins.
Yeah, and this might be a lose-your-out scenario.
Yeah, one miss out.
One miss out.
Takes care of the single pin conversion. Now Randy, why pattern E, the cheetah, is it so conducive to high scoring?
Lane help. There's friction outside part of the lane, oil that slowly migrates towards the inside part of the lane. And, you know, our guys don't need a lot of help, but when there's a little bit of help left and right of your target, our guys are going to use that to their advantage, and the scores are going to be big.
Mike Edwards front four, 3 of 4 strikes for Mike Scroggins. Has another. And stays in his groove.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and a perfect shot for Mike Scroggins here. If you see, he's got the loosest arm swing out here, and it will tuck inside at the top of the swing, allowing him to get the ball farther to the left consistently.
I'll tell you what, his swing's loose. He made 6 shows last year and won $100 grand at the Masters. I mean, that's pretty good ingredients for having a loose swing.
Yeah, that'll loosen it up pretty quick.
Tends to help, right? Here comes Edwards looking for the front 5. Has it.
You know, last year when he was on the show and he bowled against you, Norm, he bowled a really good game.
265.
Yeah, he bowled a real big game, and he looked great then, and he looks like he hasn't lost a beat.
Guys, here's the Motel 6 6th frame. Mike Edwards has the front 5 with a strike of the 6th. They'll earn $600 from Motel 6, the official lodging partner of the PBA. He'll also be eligible for a $6,000 bonus if he throws the front 6 more than any other bowler on TV this year. There's some money on the line here for the big Sooner fan.
Look out.
Comes in. Oh, look at it go! Oh, about the help. 6 goes down, and number 10, he's got the $600 with a front 6.
Oh, what a huge break. Could have been easily a split. Instead, he gets the 6-bagger out of it.
What a start for Mike Edwards. Do not touch the remote control. Don't go away. We might have a 300 game. Norm Duke knows how hard that is. He got it one of the 16 done so far.
The Denny's PBA Tour on ESPN is brought to you by Columbia, the official PBA supplier of high-performance bowling balls. Columbia bowls the world over. By Denny's, always works. Motel 6, the official lodging partner of the PBA Tour. For the lowest price of any national chain, go to motel6.com. And by Pepsi, the official drink of bowling.
Welcome back, Taylor Lanes, everyone. Taylor, Michigan, near Detroit. Motor City Classic live coverage of the Denny's PBA Tour here on ESPN. Be sure to hit the lane Sunday afternoon. Coverage continues of the Denny's PBA Tour. A tonic championship from Buffalo. Shuffling off to Western New York next week. Best bowlers in the world roll for the $180,000 purse. 1 o'clock Eastern time. There is Mike's twin, Mark, who is also an exempt bowler. The two have been coaches at West Texas A&M. Who did they coach in the past? Wes Malott, the top seed in our tournament.
Mark was a coach there for 7 years. And
wow.
Mike was an assistant coach for about a year.
Isn't that something?
It said that when Wes first went there, they knew he was something special.
And now he's potentially facing Mike here, although he's got a big hill to climb here, guys, with Mike Edwards, his opponent, bowling the front six. Perfect game going.
Yeah, and this is a tough break right after Mike Edwards catches. A real lucky break. He throws a really good shot for a ring 7. Doesn't seem to be going his way yet.
Takes care of the single pin conversion there. Mark Scroggins won the Denny's PBA Tour Trials last June, Hammond, Indiana, with an average of 228.91, more than 10,300 pins throughout that busy day, a few days on all the different lane conditions in Hammond, Indiana, to become exempt for this year. So the Twins exempt all season long here on the Denny's PBA Tour. All 10 down in the pit for Mike Scroggins. Is there any chance to come back?
They need some help. See what Mike Edwards does after that tremendous break he got in the 6th frame.
Yeah, Randy, on the right lane, Mike Edwards is using an angular one. That's the type of ball. In the left lane, the no limit. He's using 2 different balls standing exactly in the same spot.
Looks for the front 7. Has it. What a start, Mike Edwards. There have been 16 300 games on TV in Denny's PBA Tour history. The last, Mika Koibunemi, December 7th, 2003. The Blizzard Tournament back in Windsor Locks, Connecticut.
Mike Edwards gets this next strike. He's going to be in the 260s. The best Mike Scroggins can shoot is 259.
This ball on the left lane, slightly more aggressive than the one on the right.
A little bit high.
And it seems to be wanting to go high.
Well, we still have a match here, and Mike Edwards, if he spares and strikes and spares out, he'll shoot 259. Mike Scroggins can strike out for 259, possibility of a tie because of that shot right there. Mike Edwards has to finish on that left lane, and the last 2 shots both high. Look for him to make an adjustment when he gets up in the 10th. And Norm, this week that adjustment would be what? After looking at those 2 shots that Mike Edwards threw on the left lane, what is the adjustment?
Well, nice to have it just be that easy, but the options that he has is either more speed, same ball. He could go to the same ball that he's using on the right lane with the same speed, or he could simply just move his feet left, migrating toward that oil.
What would you do?
I would throw it harder.
Scroggins 8th frame here, guys. A perfect shot. The 1-2 pocket for the lefty Mike Scroggins. Parker Bohn the third, another southpaws on this show. Stepladder format. We have 5 bowlers all bidding for the top prize. A 1-season exemption on the line as well. Wes Malott, the top seed, awaits all opponents here. 1 win for him, and he will take the title. Left-handers here, Taylor. Those 2 lefties to make the TV finals this year. PA, Patrick Gallant, former player of the year. And Mike Scroggins last season. Last time it happened. 2 lefties, 1 show.
How about one from Mike?
Almost.
Here we go.
Oh, the 6 somehow stands. And he wanted that one, didn't he?
Jeez. Oh, you can't blame him. That pin is just spinning right next to it. Ends up standing it back up, didn't he, Randy?
Yeah, it did. That's going to be all but over now. He needed to strike out to have any kind of chance. Mike Edwards just needs to stay clean, 9th and 10th frame, and he will advance and take on Parker Bohn the third in our next match.
Parker's the 3rd seed. Tony Reyes, number 2. Tony had a 299 game late in the round-robin match play, and in the position game late to leapfrog Parker to the 2 spot here in Taylor on Friday. Another 4 pin for Mike Edwards with a huge lead here late at his 9th frame.
Could have been a 4-9. Mike Edwards lost on television once, leaving a 4-9.
Quaker State Open.
Yep. And so right now, Mike, I think you're right, Norm. I think he just needs to firm it up and do what he does best, and that's just as firm and as direct as he can go.
Just overthrow it and get that pin, get those pins to fly.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
Mike needing only 1 mark and 2 frames leaves one of the simplest spares you can leave.
Yeah. Now he needs
Fans, the 4-pin.
Needs a mark in the 10th frame. Mark and good count. And very, very unlike Mike to get up there and whiff a 4-pin.
Very unlike Mike.
Wow. So the lead shrinks dramatically with the open frame so late. Mike Edwards has won only 1 title. You see what he needs now to shut out Mike Scroggins. April 16th, 1994, Ontario, Canada. Over Pete Weber in the finals, 203-192. His only championship for a 44-year-old. That's a high shot. Oh, he almost had a split there.
Yeah, Mike
almost looked to the 4-7-10.
Mike is feeling it. You know, when you need 1 mark and you miss a 4-pin, boy, that feeling comes about you where you just feel like suffocation. You need help.
Start gasping for air, boy. I tell you what,
Medic.
Just got real lucky there. Now let's see if he can cover the 4-7.
I'm betting on him here.
Saw the multi-pin numbers.
Hey.
There it is.
All right, keep it on the lane, and he's a winner. He needs 2 pins.
Stays behind the line, he's a winner.
He's looking at that, right? He'll take the 7 pins and take a victory over Mike Scroggins. Advancing up the step ladder is Mike Edwards of Tulsa, Oklahoma. His last 9 shows, he's gone without a win. Maybe that changes.
It didn't matter. It was already over.
Mike's reminding the crowd that it's academic at this point. It's over.
All right, comes Mike Scroggins' trick shot here. Nice.
Nice conversion on the split. Too bad it didn't count for the big stakes. We will get another shot here to finish out our match. And Mike Edwards is thinking about the next round. He'll face the Hall of Famer, left-hander Parker Bohn III. He's won 30 Denny's PBA Tour titles.
Hey, good ball, man.
Mike Edwards has already taken out 1 lefty in Mike Scroggins. Next up, one of our Denny's PBA Tour living legends in Parker Bohn III. The southpaw with 30 career titles. Looks to win for the first time since nearly 2 years ago in El Paso, Texas. He'll try to break his streak when we return to Taylor. Five-bowler stepladder format today here in Taylor, Michigan, near Detroit. And Mike Edwards, a 244-222 win over left-hander Mike Scroggins, will advance on to take the 3 seed. Next up, Parker Bohn III. Log on to PBA.com. Check out the all-new collection of official Denny's PBA Tour apparel and merchandise for the 06-07 season. New items include everything from hats, t-shirts, hoodies to retro-style jerseys, polo shirts to tour yearbooks. You can view all the new items by logging on PBA.com, clicking on the link for the PBA store. Plenty of fans for Parker Bohn III here. He's got quite a contingent with his wife Leslie.
Mom's here. His sister Cindy's here. He's got the whole crew. There's his wife Leslie. And looks like a tired little guy.
He watches Dad start his day well.
Old school format this week, Norman, so it's no surprise that Parker Bohn's there. He's made 102 TV shows in his career, and he really likes this format. And I think when a stepladder format, TV finals, and the round-robin match play, I think the cream always rises to the top.
So Mike Edwards
Off the mark there, gets a break and a strike. Had a front seven in his match with Mike Scroggins a moment ago. And Norm, you and I have talked about what can be a disadvantage with a top seed when things change as the oil develops and the transition goes on. Let's break down the Ace Hardware matchup between Edwards and Bohn.
Well, you see the world ranking. Parker Bohn leads in that category. First to Mike Edwards, 8th. Earnings career, $2.4 million to just shy of $1 million in earnings. Titles, 30-1. Oh my gosh, Parker looks like he's the tout here.
7-10.
Well, Mike got 2 really good breaks, and it was just a matter of time. He's making some adjustments, making some ball changes. And right here, he pays the ultimate price. In my opinion, it's the worst break in bowling because it hits the pocket. It could just as well have been a strike, but 9 spare would be okay. That's just not good.
No, that's not good. He's going to take his 9 out. He's going to try to pack a string in there later in the game and make that up. That's all you can do.
How many times have we said it, guys? Just Stay Rook's record stays alive there. Last 7-10, converted on TV. 1991, back in Tucson, Arizona. That's a long time.
Either these guys aren't very good at making the 7-10 or they're throwing too many strikes.
I tell you. Back to Parker. Has all 10 down. Remember, that's how you take advantage, right?
Remember, his last win came on this very pattern. And Parker Bohn likes to throw it hard, which is conducive to this oil pattern this week, Norm.
Yeah, he likes to throw it hard, and he likes to play from the outside, and he likes it when his opponent leaves a 7-10, and he really likes to throw that double when he sees it.
It's one of the hardest working men in professional bowling. This guy never takes any time off. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Puts on great shows during the off season. Consummate professional right there.
Off the mark there, 4-7 for the legendary lefty. We talked to him yesterday about how he'd like to be remembered when he's done with his career. And Randy, he echoed your sentiment exactly. He said, I just want to be known as a nice person who treated everyone the same. Despite all the accolades, the Hall of Fame status, no matter who you are, I'll give you a few minutes.
Well, you have to search long and hard to find something bad to say about Parker Bohn III. You know what? In his demeanor, his attitude, it's just consistent on a daily basis. It's always up. He's always got a smile on his face. I mean, it's just a class act. You take any money from this guy, Norm, when you were younger? I know you bowled against Mike.
Yeah, we roomed together in 1983 when I won my first title. Mike and I have been great friends for a long, long time. And I've watched him throw what I call this tomahawk often, which is high and hard from the outside, and he is deadly at it. But no, I didn't take any money off of it.
Did he take any money off of you?
No, what we did was the low guy had to sleep in the rollaway.
Which might be worse.
Back then, Mike had a lot of time in that rollaway.
Oh my. Okay, there's the first jab.
That's the reason for his bad back then.
Well, Billy Young Jr. and Mike Edwards, we roomed 3 to a room for a long time. It just seems like we had his number, but he's figured it out since then, Randy.
Oh, baby. Mike's last 2 TV appearances, guys, have been on this cheetah pattern. A 3rd place finish in Geico last year. Norm, you were in that show, won by Doug Kent in Buffalo. So it's gone well for Mike on the cheetah. Same for Parker Bohn III. His last title in El Paso came on the same pattern. Got a 10-pin lead.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. 3-7.
Hard to believe it didn't hook from there, Norm.
Parker.
Well, he must have just over-pushed it into the oil. I'm with you. I think it's supposed to hook back.
Parker's going to try to get the ball over here. Left side of the 3-pin, throw it into the 7.
Almost. For the 7 stands, now each. Each bowler has an open frame. One of the fans maybe a little noise there as he was in the backswing. That can be distracting. And the door opens certainly for Mike Edwards. Fifth frame coming off the open. Has all 10 down. Nice bounce back for Parker Bohn III, making his 97th career TV appearance today. 30
Titles we told you about. 22nd year on tour. Hall of Famer, incredible experience. But he's the first to tell us when we meet with him that he's always working on his game, constantly trying to make adjustments.
Well, you have to. You have to continue to improve, or the young guys will just, they'll sell right by you. Oh, not another one.
Again.
You can't be serious. 2 7-10s in one game. Randy, have you ever seen that?
It's been a while. I've seen it, but it's been a while. And another bad break for Mike Edwards. He makes the changes necessary. He finally gets to the pocket and then is rewarded by that. All right, Mike, just go ahead and make it for the first time in 15 years.
If you wouldn't mind. We'll take the 7.
You know,
just amazing look.
He's still in the game, you know, with these 2 7-10s because of Parker's errant shots in the 4th frame. But you just can't endure that many bad breaks in one game. It's a 10-frame match. 2 of those 10. He's already looking at the 7-10. Now he needs to pack the string in.
2 opens. Wow, how often do you see 3 open frames in one match at this level? It's rare, especially on this pattern. Been cruel though to both bowlers here, and there's a strike as Edwards rebounds.
Well, you notice the open frames came from pocket hits. It's not like they can't get there. That's just bad luck.
Interesting matchup here. More of this one to come. First, let's flash back. Detroit Classic 1993.
We flash back to October 1993, where Norm Duke took on Walter Ray Williams Jr. in the championship match of the Greater Detroit Open. Walter Ray on the first shot goes through the nose and leaves the 6-7-10 split. Norm tries to capitalize in the second frame, but he fails to convert the 6-10, and both have open frames early in the match. Walter Ray looks for a turkey in the 4th frame, but he's through the nose again, this time on the left lane. 2-10 split the result. Another open frame, and Walter Ray knows he's opened the door for Duke. And Norm would answer. 7 strikes in his last 6 frames to finish the match as he goes on to win the 1993 Greater Detroit Open, the 4th title of his great career.
Interceptions led Oakland's stirring win over Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh. That's back-to-back wins for Randy Moss and the Silver and Black. Now can they knock off the NFC champions? Seattle is banged up and needs a win to stay above 500. Seahawks, Raiders at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN's Monday Night Football.
Mike Tirico, we had our own Wednesday Night Football here at Taylor Lanes this week. Some Detroit Lions were in the house at Taylor Lanes during the Pro-Am. Running back Brian Calhoun from Wisconsin, Terrence Holt, the defensive back from North Carolina State, working with our Norm Duke along with Roy Williams, a great wide receiver from Texas. And those guys were teaching you a thing or two about holding the ball, huh, Norman?
Yeah, they messed me up completely.
You must have been very inspirational to them, though, Norm, because they are right now leading 10-0 over Atlanta. Aha! Could you imagine getting hit by one of those guys?
No.
Excuse me, Mr. Peterson, we found your spleen in the dumpster.
That's their job. To bring some pain. Parker would like to bring some pain to the pins. He does just that. Late hit on number 10. Down she goes. As he's got a double 5th and 6th frames here. Taking advantage of the Edwards open frame.
And showing his experience. You know, most of the times out of commercial break, the guys will go high. I see it often. Parker Bohn, 30 PBA titles. Steps right up there out of the commercial break, slashes the rack.
Goes for the turkey 7th frame. You bet.
Looks like he's using a little bit more of that dry boards to the outside part of the lane on that shot. Norm looked like he got a little bit wider, and that ball really hooks up and goes high flush. Watch this. Beautiful textbook arm swing that we've seen from this guy for 22 years. Pretty nice result.
Yes, and he might have to get it all the way out there because the one time he split this game, it didn't seem like it fed that far to the left, and it hung.
Mike Edwards has an answer. Trying to break that incredibly long streak. 246 events in what he hopes is not counting after this between titles. Just one PBA championship so far. He's the first ever Native American to win a title. Very active in the Native community in Tulsa. As we told you about. First thing we want to talk about was yesterday, Oklahoma football. He is a
big Sooner fan.
Big time Sooner fan. And maybe Texas A&M yesterday. Tight one.
Mike Edwards says, here, take that, 7-10.
Not
That guy
going
right
away,
there.
baby.
That guy right there, 44 years of age, he can still get it done.
That was his best shot of the two matches right there. Had to pull within 11.
Well, you give him just 2 spares when he left the pocket 7-10s, and he's leading the match.
Parker hits for the 4-bagger 8 frame.
Yes, baby.
Oh, yeah. And the lead expands for Parker Bohn III.
Come on. Yes, baby.
Getting pumped, Norm.
He is back to 21 pins in the lead. Foundation frame. Should Parker miss here, then no way he can shut Edwards out.
Big shot. The 5-bagger 9th frame.
Yes. Yes.
Has another.
That's Hall of Fame stuff right there, son.
Just high flush.
His sons Parker and Evan watching where they live in Nashville, Tennessee. Justin, Brandon, and Sydney. Young kids with Parker and Leslie on the road with them throughout the entire tour season.
Oh, God.
Didn't like it. And has a 4-pin. What happened on the release, Norm?
Well, he just lost that one a little bit. It looks like he kind of hit where he was looking. Just didn't have the rotation on it to get it to respond and crawl up the hill and make the strike.
Yeah, and anytime you hear a player say, oh no, right as it leaves their hand, usually not good.
Bad sign, right?
Yeah, Mike's in trouble now.
There's a single pin conversion for Mike Edwards. That's the longest streak of futility on tour right now of active bowlers. Del Ballard Jr. regained his exempt status in June of the tour trials. Next up, 227 events and counting without a win. Rick Steelsmith, 185. Chris Warren, 169. Tim Chris, 145. The top 5. Unfortunately for them, events without a victory on tour. Looks like that'll continue. Great shot. Is it too late?
Norm, you said it best. Those, 1 7-10, okay, you can overcome that, but 2 is a pretty tall order.
And that's typical with the guys with long streams without titles is they get on television occasionally. They just cannot endure the bad breaks. There's only 10 frames in the game. If you have a couple of bad breaks, it's just too much to ask to recover. We talked about the 4-9 and the 10 frame against Mike Durbin, Quaker State.
10-pin there for Mike Edwards. It is tough, Norm. You make a good point about the fact the guys come out here on TV with one match. Everything's on the line after all the bowling you did in this round-robin match play format to get this far.
Yeah, and sometimes you get here and everything goes your way. Earlier in the previous match, Mike got that huge break for the 6-bagger. Looked like it could have been his day. The very next game, time about fair play.
Parker just got to keep this on the lane, basically. Needs 3 pins. And kind of like in golf. Conceding was Mike Edwards. Because of that, strike. And it's over. Parker Bohn III advances to the next level. Tony Reyes awaits Parker. Stepladder format.
Yeah, and the bad thing for Tony Reyes is Parker Bohn is throwing everything high flush at the end of the game. Trust me, he knows that.
Always interested, guys, to see how the oil breaks down here. Parker experimenting with the ball here late to see what kind of reaction he gets on the back end of this cheetah pattern, which has yielded very high scores. Now, guys, why do you think it changes so much? You had the front 7 in the first match, and then things change dramatically in the second.
Well, you know, it does, and it's because every shot you throw down the lane, it peels the oil off the front end and delivers it to the back. So they're going to constantly change on it.
I think that and temperature inside the building underneath the lights, the lanes heat up more. You get this many bodies situated around the set. The temperature goes up, the oil breaks down faster.
Yeah, and that's the key thing.
Tony Reyes is next up, guys, for Parker Bohn III. Great career on TV. He's now 71-71. Trying to win his 31st title. Tony Reyes has never won a Denny's PBA Tour title. Did very well in a specialty event last year that got him exempt status. We'll tell you his story when we return to Taylor.
The Denny's PBA Tour on ESPN is brought to you by Ace, the official hardware store of the PBA. Ace, the helpful place. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com. And by Discover Card. It's time a credit card put you in the driver's seat.
A lot of great bowling fans here in the Detroit area. A bracket to update you on the Motor City Classic, Taylor, Michigan. Near Detroit. A victory for Parker Bohn III, 252-203 over Mike Edwards. That means he takes on the 2-seed Tony Reyes. Wes Malott, the #1 seed, bidding for his second ever Denny's PBA Tour title. Sits on top. Here's Tony Reyes. 9th year on tour, still bidding for his first ever title from the Bay Area, Northern California, an alum of San Jose State, where he was an All-American. And a National Bowler of the Year in the mid-90s. TV, radio, film. Major at San Jose State. He's a Spartan. Nice start for Tony with some pepper on that ball.
One of the nicest guys on tour right there, Tony Reyes. Infectious smile. He's got that great laugh. Super nice kid right there.
Coming off a very difficult year for him personally. We'll tell you about that story. Now it's Parker. Just off a nice win over Mike Edwards. Keeps the roll going. And normally talk about stepladder format and the advantage of just staying out there. You know what's happening with the lanes. That leads us into the Ace Hardware matchup.
Same kind of deal, Norm. I mean, you got the guy, the veteran Parker Bohn III, all that money and all those wins going up against a guy who has never visited the winner's circle. I mean, he's, you know, this is all new to Tony Reyes. So, again, you would think on paper a tall order, but that's why we play the game.
Yes. So, Normie, how about that? Parker looks like he's locked in with a very good path to the pocket. He's just bowled another match. How big an advantage is that for him?
Well, I think it's a huge advantage, and you know, Parker's comfortable. He's been there so many times. If you let him throw it into his wheelhouse, he's going to put up a big number, and now Tony Reyes knows this. But he knows if he's going to win his first title, he's got to beat somebody like Parker Bohn, Walter Ray Williams, Pete Weber. Somebody is going to be there.
145 events, guys. No wins in Tony Reyes' career so far. Does that change here today, perhaps?
Well, Tony's going to try to do everything he can to hold off the attack of Parker Bohn III. But, you know, watching the ball reaction on this pattern, folks at home can actually experience the same thing, bowl on this exact same cheetah pattern by joining a PBA Experience League. PBA and USBC have joined together to offer leagues and offer people an opportunity that you're seeing right before you, giving you a chance to bowl on the same patterns our guys bowl on week in and week out.
Yeah, starting January 1.
Another strike for Tony Reyes. So you can't line up on the football field with Peyton Manning, face a fastball from the great Roger Clemens, shoot hoops with LeBron James, but with the PBA experience you can get on the PBA Tour, real lane conditions, and compete, see how you can fare. That's going to be quite an experience for those folks who join up.
Yeah, for the first time ever. That's the beauty of it. You know, we've been out here for 30 years, and we've never been able to give the same environment to the league bowlers as we're bowling on.
High break there on the 2-pin. So to experience the challenge, competition, and excitement of the PBA Experience Leagues, go to PBA.com or bowl.com for more information. As Norm said, January 1st, 07, it all gets started up this year.
And if you were left-handed and you were bowling one of those leagues and you just saw Parker Bohn do this, you'd say, I think I know what to do. I think Parker just got that ball a little bit too far to the left early. And his speed is a little softer.
Overhooked.
To remove the wood in the back.
He's got a rooting section. Leslie and Justin, son Brandon, not quite old enough to sit on a TV show, as Parker told us this morning before the show. He's more of a football type fan where he likes the atmosphere of big events. Yesterday, Parker Bohn III, his entire family went through a baptism. Good to have the family video there, that very special event. And Parker came to us this morning and told us what that meant to he and his family. His wife Leslie and 3 young children with him on the tour. They travel together in the motorhome, and he said it was yesterday too how important that's been for he and his family to spend all the time together. Where so many bowlers, and guys, you know how hard it can be to be away from your loved ones.
Well, that's the biggest sacrifice, is to be out here when your loved ones are at home. But I tell you what, if you're going to have a father, Parker Bohn is the one of choice, because he does it all for the family.
Yeah. And not just any kind of motorhome. I mean, that thing is like a Madden Cruiser just about back there.
Taj Mahal on wheels, huh?
Yes, sir.
Reyes, great start here, guys. Has another. Front 4, a little help on the 5. And down it goes. Big lead here for Tony Reyes on the legend. Parker Bohn III. Lomax Weekly Update. Tony Reyes trying to get back onto the bright lights of TV. He had that great year, guys, 2 years ago. He made 3 out of 5 shows. Didn't win a title. And last week in the Masters, getting himself on track. As we mentioned, a very tough year for Tony last season. His father passed away. Had to miss several events.
Yeah, and thanks to that final frame event where he won his exemption, he's out here today and he's trying to win his first title.
He said it was the toughest thing he's ever gone through, losing his dad. Another strike.
Tony Reyes rededicated his career after the passing of his father. He wants to leave it all out on the table. He's not going to go away quietly. He goes to Kegel for a week and a half, or excuse me. He goes to the Kegel Training Center a week and a half prior to the Masters, practices 15 games a day. This guy has rededicated himself to this sport.
Been a long time, too, guys, for Parker Bohn III to get in the winner's circle. Almost had the baby split. Instead, just the 8-pin here for Parker. So Tony, as you talked about, went to the Kegel Center down in Florida. He called it like a spring training for baseball. Same sort of idea, working out on all different lane conditions. There's several top PBA bowlers. Jason Couch, Tommy Jones there.
Well, Parker's ball is overhooking on the right lane. This is 2 in a row.
Has a single pin conversion. Tony told us yesterday the most confident he's ever been heading into a season. Feels healthy. Recovered from that difficult emotional time last year. He said to us when he wrapped up the 2nd seed Friday night here during the position round, shot the 299, he said he felt his dad's presence. Back to Parker.
That ball wiggled going down the lane.
Wow, lost his look, guys, huh?
That thing just, the ball looked like it was going to come off the spot and just wiggled.
Yeah, he has to get the ball to the left to get it to recover all the way. He did that. He probably moved his feet to the right so it would stay off the nose. Now it's wiggling way down lane.
So it just never comes off that spot. It just kind of wiggled when it got to the break point and left himself with another 3-7.
In the meantime,
got it. Great conversion on a tough split.
Oh, by the way, the Hall of Famer, he's a really good spare shooter, too.
Apparently so. That was a thing of beauty. So Tony Reyes firmly in the driver's seat. He's got a perfect game going so far. The front 5, a 33-pin lead. He'll try to expand that to 43 pins with another strike when we come back to Detroit. Let's tell you about on the road on the Denny's PBA Tour Tonic Championship, Cheektowaga, New York. And we're going to Buffalo next week, guys. You see the Pro-Am times, November 8th, 11th. Log on to PBA.com for Pro-Am info. Then Lake County, Indiana Classic, Hammond, Indiana, where Pete Weber won an emotional tournament last year at Stardust Bowl 1. Those 2 centers in Hammond have been the sites of our PBA Tour trials as well. Big Reyes fan. Tony loves the Raiders, though.
You know he's a diehard fan if he still likes the Raiders. What are they, 1-6?
Tough start for Art Shelder.
2-5?
Motel 6 frame, guys. Tony Reyes has the front 5 with a strike in the 6th. He'll be earning $600 from Motel 6, the official lodging partner of the PBA. Here he goes. Has it. He'll be eligible for a $6,000 bonus if he throws the front 6 more than any other bowler on TV this year. Tony Reyes, great story.
Tony Reyes from San Bruno looking for title number uno.
Well, he's got
good material.
Well, he's got a 43-pin lead now after that 6-bagger.
As we told you about, had that leapfrog effort to 299 to get by Parker Bohn III. There have been several 300 games here this week of the tournament, including Michael Haugen Jr. helping us on our scorekeeping today with Tony on the show. Wes Malott has one. Patrick Allen, Tommy Jones, Parker Bohn III had one as well. Another strike. Getting closer. Front 7, Tony Reyes.
And you watch Tony playing exactly the same line as Mike Edwards in the previous match. He's just throwing the ball harder, much more forceful. The ball down the lane consistently, and the power into the pins, extraordinary.
But his ball looks like it's hooking more in the back end.
That's because it's getting longer before it starts hooking. Retention of energy.
Got it.
That ball explodes for the pins. Shearing the rack there for Parker Bohn III. Denny's PBA Tour money leaders so far. Doug Kent had a huge payday last week. The brother-in-law of Parker Bohn III, as he won the USBC Masters. Second Masters title. First one that counted, though, because the prior in the early 90s didn't count as an event. Norm, you know all about that. Tommy Jones, also last year, the tremendous season, player of the year. Off to a nice start. Made this show last week. Parker again. Get up. It does, Parker. Show up.
Well, he better keep doing that if he wants a chance in this match with Tony Reyes having the first 7 strikes in a row. A couple more here, and it's about time to sing that song. You know which one I'm talking about, Norm.
Yeah, 1 strike, in fact, would get him to sing the song. But we did see Mike Edwards in game number 1 with the 4-pin when he needed only 1 mark, so you just have to wait and see.
Tony has another. Front 8, Tony Reyes.
You gonna sing it? You gonna sing it?
I'm not singing it. You can sing it.
I'm not, it's too early. It's too early.
All right.
He gets the one in the 9th, and yeah, I'll sing it.
Guys, seriously, key moment I think for Tony Reyes. His girlfriend watches on here.
Hammer time, baby.
Tony Reyes was never won on the Denny's PBA Tour. In key moments like this, where he needs that big strike, trying to come through a 300 game, make the final. In the past, it hasn't happened on TV for him. Today could be his day.
Boy, he does look calm. He looks like he's just mean and ready.
Yeah, different Tony Reyes on TV.
Just love it.
Looks real confident.
Maybe a 17th perfect game. Another!
Baby!
Nine in a row!
You want to join in?
Go ahead.
Turn out the lights, the
Party's over.
Oh, my goodness.
I can't do Don Meredith's justice.
Tony Reyes is going to go to the title match and face Wes Malott and try to win his first ever Denny's PBA title.
He's 3 strikes away from a perfect game. And a very good effort and a great week for Parker Bohn III will come to an end here. The Hall of Famer will not get past Tony Reyes, who is 3 strikes away from what would be the 17th perfect game on TV and a $10,000 bonus from the Denny's PBA Tour. No help on the 7. Scout across the deck doesn't take care of it. Norm, you and I talked about that very top of the show. Ideal conditions for a potential 300 game, and we might have that with Tony here.
Well, you know, these guys are good.
Short pin.
And if you give them a little bit of friction on the outsides, somebody
I got it that time.
is going to get close. Tony Reyes, just every shot he throws, it seems like it's peeling that 10-pin off the wall. And that's just telling me that everything is very consistent. And you see Parker's rooting on him at this point. Parker wants to see both three on TV as much as anybody.
All right, folks, get ready. 3 strikes away. Reyes has not been done since December of 2003. Mika Koivu against another lefty, Jason Couch. How about 10 straight, Tony? Oh, yeah! Wow. 2 more. Woo. Norm, you've done it on TV. You're the 15th all-time against Walter Williams Jr. January of '03 in Tacoma. And there's the last time we told you about Mika's great effort. Somehow we all got to the bowling center after that incredible blizzard that year in the Northeast.
Left, took up.
Has it! He needs 1 more! 11 straight!
Looks good!
300 game!
Looks perfect.
Tony Reyes has done it! A perfect game!
Can I say, my friend? One more game. One more game. One more game, though. It's like Friday night, baby. It's like Friday night. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Good bowling, man. Good bowling. I got one more taken care of, man. I'll be right there with you, man. Taking one. Yeah.
It's his 17th career 300, the 17th ever on TV, and here it is, guys.
Oh, what a great shot for 300. Now, this is back-to-back games. 299 the last game last night, 300 first game today. I tell you what.
Right on this one here, baby. One more game.
That was his father's good luck ring. The lucky horseshoe ring, and he's worn it on his left hand. How about the luck from his dad? He's looking down proudly now. El Perfecto. Here it is, folks. Moments ago, Tony Reyes bidding for a perfect game on TV. Oh, yeah, baby. 300. And now he gets ready for the top seed, Wes Malott. Special thanks to the Dobbins co-proprietors here at Taylor Lanes near Detroit. Great host again for us. The 22nd time that Taylor Lanes has held a PBA event. And Aaron, the operations manager, great to see Aaron again. She and a great staff just doing a fabulous job. The World Championship prelim rounds were held before last year, heading to the EMU Convocation Center, Ypsilanti, Eastern Michigan campus. Tony Reyes makes history here today, but he's got one more match to go, guys. The 300 game. Now he faces Wes Malott. Here's the Geico Championship recap to this point. Randy.
Match number 1, Mike Edwards defeats Mike Scroggins by the score 244 to 222. Then in match number 2, he advances and takes on Parker Bohn III. Parker Bohn wins that match 252-223. And in the 3rd match, Tony Reyes, well, folks, it just doesn't get any better than this. Perfection, 300. Setting up a great championship match between Tony Reyes and Wes Malott.
That's our Geico Championship recap. 17th time Denny's PBA Tour history. We got a 300 game on TV. What's next? How do they top that? We'll find out. We are set to go. Our final match, stepladder format, Wes Malott, top seed. Head-to-head, Tony Reyes, Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson, Norm Duke, our entire crew with you. Live coverage of the Denny's PBA Tour. Well, these two gentlemen join greats like Patrick Allen, Walter Williams Jr. have 2 wins here in Taylor. Norm Duke won here last year. Parker Bohn III, Tom Baker, Doug Kent, and Leto Monticelli. Pete Weber, Brian Voss, all have won tournaments at Taylor.
I've never won here.
Oh. Sorry, Randy. Tony Reyes. Hey, there's a non-strike ball 10-pin to start off the championship match.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I've never seen anybody so relaxed after bowling a perfect game on television. Not a lot of emotion, just enough. He had fun with it, but he didn't hoop it up and go crazy, Norm. Again, the most relaxed I've ever seen.
I was jumping right out of my shoes and mine and scared to death, and he looked like it was just another day at the office.
There's a 10-pin. Now, how about the rebound, guys? We talked about trying to come down, had a commercial break, had a little bit of time. That first ball, pretty good shot on the 10-pin?
Yeah, it was a really good shot. The first ball was a good shot. I mean, if you look at Tony, you could see he wears his emotions on his sleeve. And I mean, he looks real relaxed, and he looks like the only thing he's focusing on is winning.
I agree.
Big Wes Malott, top seed. Good start for Wes from Argyle, Texas, just north of Dallas. He moved from the Austin area in the offseason to the Dallas area. Ace hardware matchup. Norm, break it down for us.
Well, they've got about the same amount of TV appearances, 8 and 9. Titles, of course, Malott has won. Tony hasn't. Nod goes there. Earnings about the same. I think this is just a toss-up. It's which one of these guys want to win this title the most?
This guy's nasty. It's like going up against Nolan Ryan, you know, trying to hit that fastball. This guy's just plain nasty.
Throws it hard.
Watch the rotation.
250 pounds of power across through the pocket.
Nasty. I mean, that's straight up booger nose nasty. That is nasty stuff.
4 of Wes's 8 appearances so far on TV have been in arenas. This is a non-arena show. He made the first 4 shows last year. Busted onto the scene, really. As one of the young guns along with Tommy Jones. Won 1 title in Denver, he told you about. First ever head-to-head. With a title on the line. And Tony off the spare first frame has a strike.
And Norm, because of this oil pattern, even though Wes Malott throws the stronger ball, big hook guy, this oil pattern basically neutralizes his power because Tony can get his ball to actually face the pins about as hard as Wes Malott's.
Well, it does neutralize his ability to create a lot of area because area is already on the lanes. What it doesn't neutralize is his ball's ability to get pins to fly everywhere. That was his big advantage, as we talked about at the top of the show, and you'll see in his care.
Tony has 10 down. He won the final frame last year, that holiday special we told you about, to earn his exempt status. Went through such a difficult time with his father passing away. He missed much of the tour year, but had the exempt status. He feels relaxed, completely focused, and he has a 300 game on TV. Match play record for Wes. Got by Parker Bohn III, en route to the top seed. Just has to play 1 match. It's the toughest one, though. Yeah! Great start for big Wes Malott.
Take a look at this swing here. Watch how it's going to go out away from his body. We'll draw a little line right here. Now watch the movement on the way down. Look at that movement on the way down. Tucks it back into his body, and then his arm swing and his body line are parallel to one another. I think it's a great swing, and it's something that I teach my students. Try to get that ball either straight or a little bit to the outside. Brings the elbow in the hand to the inside on the way down.
This week's Atonic Edge. And Wes Malott.
Hey, baby.
Oh, he liked that on the release. And he's getting the fans pumped up. Front four for Wes Malott. We just had a 300 game at Tony Reyes. It's never been done in Denny's PBA Tour history. 2 300 games, one show. Maybe today. You never know. Stay tuned.
The Denny's PBA Tour on ESPN is brought to you by Ace, the official hardware store of the PBA. Ace, the helpful place. Atonic, the official footwear of the PBA. Atonic, the first one there. By Prescription Flomax. And by the USBC, ensuring the integrity and protecting the future of the sport of bowling. Bowl with us.
Motor City Classic Trophy. On the line here in Greater Detroit, Wes Malott off to a perfect start. He's got the front four. Tony Reyes has already thrown a 300 game over Parker Bohn III. Down by 20. But Tony looks for the turkey here. 4th frame. Wow, what a setting. Could we have another perfect game? Will Tony Reyes win his first ever title? Let's find out, shall we?
Asks for time to adjust his tape and his bowling ball, and hey, Tony may have stolen one right here, Norm.
Well, he did. You know, again, fresh out of the commercial break, makes one of those shots as iffy. But now that it's struck, he doesn't care.
No.
So many times we watch the guy with the spare in the first frame kind of come in under the radar after the end of the game. A guy misses, loses by a mark.
Take advantage. Big shot. Take advantage.
Taping it up. Maybe he lost that last shot down at the bottom of the swing. Adds a piece of tape in it. Wants to make sure he has a perfect fit. Sleek.
Long streak, guys. Win. No help this time. On the 8, a 9-pin count. He went for the 4 back.
Norm, you are always fiddling with your tape and your thumb hole. What happens? What happened to Tony Reyes there? He goes to the tape and then he gets one flying down the lane. What happened?
Well, he needed more ball speed. He probably taped it up so he could get a better grip, throw the ball harder. Everything worked out fine, except the ball didn't hook as much as he thought.
We saw that stat a moment ago on the streak of fertility for Tony Reyes. Longest active bowler, Brian LeClaire, guys. 338 events, no wins. Richie Wolf, 307. Sorry, Michael Haugen Jr., our stats guy today. 179 are all ahead of Tony Reyes in that streak. Michael will do it someday, we're confident. Tony hopes to do it right here, right now. Wes Malott looks for the front 5. 4-pin.
Boy, and if you're Tony Reyes sitting on the bench, that's exactly what you wanted to see.
All right, come on.
Yeah, any non-strike, just keep him in the game right now.
Exactly.
If he continues that string, then he puts this match away, really early.
Yeah.
Had a great start last year we told you about. Japan Cup, Tulsa, Denver, and Omaha. He won in Denver. Nearly had a 300 game in that event in the Mile High City. And now with appearances here in Taylor at the Japan Cup to begin the season. 2 of the first 3. Not a bad start again for big Wes Malott. Monday night, coming up, the Raiders head-to-head with the Seattle Seahawks. Sean Alexander, what's the health status with him? Is he going to come back? We'll see. That's all coming up Monday Night Football. And that is Tony Reyes' Randy Moss jersey. He's a Raider fan. Art Shell could use some help, huh?
You know, Dave, I'd like you to put that Randy Moss jersey on, and I'd like to tackle you really hard.
So the defending NFC champs led by their new receiver, Deion Branch. Go at it. Yeah! Big game on ESPN Monday Night Football. Another big shot, Wes Malott.
Yeah, Penn's just shredding. You know, most people, when they miss left a little bit like that, ball's in the oil, it doesn't seem to hit as hard. Wes, those pins are no match for that ball. It just looks bigger than most everybody else's.
Are you trying to insinuate that Wes is using oversized bowling balls, Norm?
Well, it seems that way.
Okay.
Just to clarify, folks, Randy's kidding. Back to Tony. All 10 down in the pit. Tony Reyes, big shot as he rebounds off the 9 spare. 6-frame strike for him. He's right in this match. And you're right, Norm. He needed West just to break the streak a little bit, give him some daylight. Tony's never won on the PBA Tour. Even this one up with a strike. A double in the 7th. One of the all-time nicest guys we've ever run across in any sport. Looks for the equalizer. Has it!
Wow, did he get that ball to the right quickly.
But because he kept his hand behind it, ball rolls up flush instead of going high. Watch this. He's not going to go away quietly, I can tell you that.
Pumped after that big shot. Good Wes answer. Double of his own. 7th frame. You better believe it.
Time for business now.
Oh, that's right, Wes Malott. Little Texan shootout for the Texan from near Dallas. Tony Reyes from the Oakland area.
He just gave that one the business, didn't he?
That was as good as it gets there.
Jeez.
Lost to Mika Koivuniemi in the event held at the EMU Eastern Michigan University Convocation Center, that fine arena we had a few events in. Ypsilanti. But he advanced through the preliminary rounds here in Taylor before getting to the EMU campus.
Come on, baby, one time.
How about the help? No! Across the deck and number 10 stands.
Yeah, he's been getting that pin to fall all week long, just like not this time.
He hit those pins so hard they didn't know what direction to fall in.
It's a heavy ball, isn't it? He just blasts those pins. Man.
Extremely high rev rate, a lot of stuff on it, and a lot of ball speed.
Shrapnel.
Yeah.
Picks up the spare, and things are close.
Boy, are they one pin right now.
With a strike, that's what happens. 9-pin deficit for Tony. Looks on a strike here, looks for the turkey. 8th frame.
Right on.
60 feet to success. Tony Reyes, a big one. And he regains the lead, guys. We got a great match on our hands here.
Beautiful shot, and if he strikes in the 9th frame, it doesn't matter what Wes Malott does in the 9th and 10th. He can't shut out Tony Reyes. Right now, the destiny is in his own hands. Tony Reyes can strike out and win this tournament, his first ever.
Another huge strike, Tony Reyes, and he's playing up to the crowd here in Taylor.
He's just a different guy, Norm. I mean, the demeanor, the way he is attacking this pair, what he's doing to his opponents. I mean, it's just a different Tony Reyes.
He did. He rededicated himself, and right now he has the confidence that all of us wish we could enjoy all the time.
Well, that was a big one, guys. 4-bagger for Tony. Here's West trying to answer 9th frame. Gets help.
That's that hit you were talking about.
Yeah, tap on number 10. Big shot, Wes Malott.
Yeah, he's 75% on that Bird Dog 10 there all week.
He's smart. He's smart.
I gave it a couple pretty good whacks.
Thank you, Billy Bob.
You're welcome. Wes Malott knows he needs to strike out. Put the pressure back on Tony Reyes. 3 in the 10th here gives him 258.
Good shot. Good shot.
You liked it? the 10-pin stance for Wes Malott.
A little tight. He caught it before I did.
Well, even if he spares here, mark for Tony Reyes wins the championship.
Any kind of mark in the 10th frame for Tony Reyes, he wins for the very first time.
Wow. It is not easy at the top, Norm Booth. You know it all too well. A couple times last year as the top seed, including the Masters in Milwaukee to Mike Scroggins, he lost as the top seed. We talked about it, you and I, earlier today. Why does the top seed struggle so much? 0-6 last 2 years.
Well, you know, you would figure that this would be a different week because Wes Malott started with the 4-bagger, and, you know, he was settled in early. Normally, the top seed comes in. It takes him a while to get it going.
Well, Tony came off a 300 game. Wes blitzes the rack there. Perfect shot. Tony Reyes needs a mark, fellas, for his first ever title. Prepare for serious emotion if he converts.
Yeah, and that was a pretty serious 238 game by Wes Malott. Nice effort.
A kiss for his girlfriend, Becky.
Right here, that's for Dad. Right here, baby. That's for Dad right there. Love you, Mom.
Boy, that's the best type of mark, isn't it, Randy? Just throw it high flush.
Brilliant, brilliant performance. Brilliant performance.
Oh, man, you can't beat this feeling here. Thanks, man.
That was unbelievable.
Teddy.
Not only did he shoot a 300 game,
Swiveling, an honor to both. Making my first title.
but he beats
here,
a 238 by Wes Malott.
Woo!
And you can tell
Where's my Denny's ball?
He's liking it.
Yeah, baby.
For the first time ever.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, Mom. How's your dad there? Yeah.
Tony Reyes has won on the Denny's PBA Tour. And his buddy Jason Couch gives him a big hug.
You know, as always, the one you never forget is your first. Well, how can you forget this one? Following the championship matchup. I mean, excuse me, 300 game prior to the championship match. Great day for Tony.
A day, Norm Duke, for Tony Reyes. The 300 game, the 17th ever, and his first ever Denny's PBA Tour title.
Yeah, baby.
It comes here today in suburban Detroit.
I'm right there with you, buddy. I'm in that fraternity now, finally. You know, I know I've always felt like I've been
Absolutely
there,
unforgettable action for the fans here at Taylor Lanes in Taylor, Michigan. Randy Peterson with a very happy Tony Reyes.
Tony, what a tremendous day. Congratulations. Describe what you're feeling right now.
Just total exuberance. I mean, a lot of years, a lot of hard work. You know, had a really rough one last year and really had a good off season and did one for Dad. It was awesome. It was pretty sweet.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah.
Dave.
Hammer, go Hammer, baby. 1 time. 2 time now.
Tremendous. Good for you.
So much.
Norm Duke, what can you say about an unbelievable day? We knew it'd be emotional as we see Tony Reyes take it. Don't forget it, Tonic Championship. Can we follow up the history and emotion we saw today? I'm not sure. Denny's PBA Tour live coverage, 1 o'clock Eastern time here on ESPN. Congratulations to Tony Reyes, 255, 238 winner in the finals over Wes Malott. The Tonic Championship from Buffalo coming up next week. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Now for the entire crew, Norm Duke, Randy Peterson, it's Dave Ryan saying so long from Detroit. Men's trick shot magic coming up. So long, everyone. Tony Reyes, big day today.